Turn it off. I'm live.
Oh.
Okay, can you get on so we make sure it is on?
Yeah, get on.
Allow your user to join. Yeah, I did allow that.
Yeah, you.
Okay, so we'll wait. Right?
Good.
Liquid courage. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you give me hearts if you hear me? Can you give me some hearts and some thumbs up if you hear me? Because this is technology. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Well, not just you. Hi. Okay, let me turn off the volume here. Okay. Hey, Jen. Hey, Tina. Hey, Caesar. Liquid courage. So we're going to wait a little bit till some more people come on, and then we'll get started. I got a lot of good stuff for you guys. I thought about it a lot. It was a lot to filter out, but I think I have some really good nuggets that you can start implementing right away. So we'll wait for a few more people, maybe like 2 or 3 more minutes. And then please tell me where you're watching from. That'd be cool. Like your desk, or hey, Abby, your desk, or your home, or work, or in another like city or something. That would be cool to know. So anyways, as I'm doing this, since I'm used to talking to somebody one-on-one and I'm seeing their like body language and I'm seeing how they're receiving my message, I don't get to see you. So I would love it if you would give me some encouragement. If you're hearing what I'm and you're resonating with what I'm saying, then just give me some hearts and some thumbs up so I know that I'm going in the right direction and that you're getting my vibe, you know? So it's just hard to talk to a camera without having any feedback when you're usually in a one-on-one environment in an office setting or in the gym setting. So thank you. Oh yeah, for those of you, liquid courage, usually I don't do this in the middle of the day, but it's the first time for everything. I wish it wasn't like so quiet. There would be like some music or something in the background, like some love music. That would be good, huh? Can we get some love music? So this is great. Okay, great timing on this. My goal this year is to challenge myself to step out of my comfort zone and to help more people out of the gym, not just in the gym. And I've been helping people with their health and fitness and wellness and the mentality, their confidence, their self-worth. A lot of what I deal with over the last 18 years is relationships, either with a family member, their parents, their siblings. They're either single trying to get somebody, or they're married and they've just got married and having rough patches, or they just had a baby having rough patches and they're not themselves, or they've married for a long time and they feel like I love who I'm with, but like I don't feel that spark like I used to feel. And I thought that was normal, where you don't feel the spark anymore, you just have love. But I never experienced it. I just, from what I heard from, people that I've worked with, that it's a normal thing. Well, it's not. And there's some things that you can do in relationships to check yourself and to make yourself accountable in a marriage or in a serious relationship. And when I talk about, I'm going to talk about energies a lot, masculine and feminine energies. And it doesn't matter if you're, it's a man and a woman, or a man and a man, or a woman and a woman. In between a relationship, there's always 2 energies, okay? And those energies have to be, opposites attract. So masculine has to be masculine, feminine has to be feminine. But in today's modern age or modern day, for a role for a female, we have become a little bit more masculine, only because we're in the workforce now, we have our careers, you know, we are having to be leaders and executives, and we have to have a presence because we work around a lot of masculine energy, but we forget to turn that off when we go home. And so I can share with you my personal stories that basically saved my marriage and kept the passion alive in my marriage. We've been married for 10 years or 11 years now. We've been together for 13 years, and there was one rough patch we had, and of course there's lots of peaks and valleys, but there was one where I actually questioned if this is the person I want to be with, and you know, what's changed. And it was at year 7, and everybody says the 7-year itch, but it was aligned with when we had our first baby. So after our first baby, about first 6 months, I kind of gave it a free pass in a way, where we're all hands are on deck. Everybody's taking care of the baby. We're only worrying about the baby. And so after 6 months, I felt like, okay, I love this man more than ever. I see him as a father, and I see him as, I love him more than ever. I see him in another dimension, and my love for him has like grown so much more. But why don't I have that passion anymore? Right? So what's up with that? Where I'm feeling like we're in it together, but I'm walking by my best friend. Where the first 7 years I was with Shane, literally we couldn't pass each other without like giving each other a hug or a kiss, or you know, grabbing each other's butts, or it's always been loving and passionate. And at that 7-year mark, it's kind of where it kind of waned. And so I figured out by going through seminars and learning from clients on what the issue was. And the issue is, like, the concept is called polarity. And polarity is masculine and feminine energy. So if you guys know me, I'm pretty masculine when it comes to, if I'm training you, I have to have a presence and I have to have a masculine energy for you to like calm down and lead and follow me as I tell you what to do, or how to eat, or how to work out, or what to do next. I have to have that presence so that you feel safe with me, and so that you can relax and be vulnerable in the gym environment, right? Because the gym is really scary for a lot of people. And so when I take you into this gym environment where you're like, there's mirrors everywhere, I'm not in my armor, I'm not in my makeup, I'm not, you know, in my suit, and I don't work with my brain, which I'm confident, I'm working with my body, well, most clients are really scared. And so my presence, and most trainers' presence, is like, all right, I got this, come with me, we're going to do this, this, and this. So it's very masculine. And as I own 4 gyms, I employ over 25 people, I have to have a leadership presence, which is usually masculine. And what I've learned is, and obviously by a lot of, trial and error, what I've learned is when I come into, like, I pull into the garage at the end of my workday, and I basically take a deep breath, and I become the feminine Julie. Like, I'm still feminine to my core. I do have to act masculine in my work environment, and that's what society actually rewards of me and has worked for me for the last 10, 15 years. But in a relationship, that actually doesn't work as far as having the attraction. So when I get in the house, I'm this soft, feminine Julie that you guys will never, ever, ever see. Okay? But that's what my husband, who is masculine, needs for me to be. So it's how we are attracted to each other. And what he needs to be is a masculine man, because I need to feel I need to feel safe when I'm around him, and I need to feel secure when I'm around him. And if he's like a pushover, or he's not, in his masculine, then I am not very attracted to that. I feel like unsafe, and I have to control the whole environment, and I have to just be the man, and I don't want to be the man or the masculine energy. I want to have, when I'm with him or with whoever you're with, you want to have the attraction, that you want to feel calm, and you want to feel safe, and you want to feel feminine, because we're raising our kids. We have to have a masculine energy. We are working. We have a masculine energy. And when we're leading people, or we are trying to inspire people, we have to have a masculine energy. So when it comes to relationships, I want you to work on and be aware of, when you come into the house, or when you're in the presence of your significant other, that you just, as females, kind of calm down and bring that softness down, and bring that playfulness back, and be open, and as if you you don't look at him like he's the source of all your stresses. You look at him as it's playful, and it's fun, and it's and you're enjoying. Now, Shane and I, we want to be a power couple. We want to make, advances in our career and our lives and just everything about our lives. So there is a lot of strategy going on, and a lot of where we have to talk about, hey, what are we doing next on our finances? What are we doing next on our businesses? What are we doing next, with our children? Where are they going to stay in this school? Or are they going to do this? So there's a lot of like meetings in a way to strategize for our life. And that takes a little bit of different energy. So I'm not going to sit back and be like, oh, whatever you want, honey, like wherever the kids want to go to school, they can go to school. No. So I still want to move forward in our life, but I don't want to be less attractive. So whenever we do those things and we have those types of, life meetings, then I'm who I need to be to get something accomplished, to have something down, to strategize. And then whenever it's over with and we have our plan and everybody knows what they're supposed to do, after that, it's back to when I'm with him, I'm just free and I'm happy and I'm smiling and I'm just feel safe because I know that, he's going to take care of me. But it takes two. So I'm feeling the way for me to feel open and playful and relaxed and safe is if he is bringing the right energy himself towards me. And so what he needs to do and all the steps kind of run into each other, and then I'll kind of break them down at the end, or all the 5 tips. But the first one is polarity, which, I just explained. The masculine and feminine energy always have to be, always kind of have to be there for attraction or passion to exist. And then if you know that, you can check yourself and you can be like, okay, I had a really hard day at work and I came in all like, mad and trying to kick, like coming in just like grumpy. Well, you check yourself and you can still have those feelings of a bad day, but you need to, you need to consciously shift your energy, because that's not, that person you're with is not the enemy. They're the sounding board. They're here to help it be better. So you should shift your energy, which helps with passion and attraction. And then we go into what men need and what women need. So in order to have that polarity, we have to, the man and the woman have to do their part in being vulnerable and being committed to the other person's happiness, right? And so what I know about Shane is he needs to feel needed and appreciated, and he needs to feel admired, and he needs to, and I do feel all of those things for him. Otherwise I wouldn't even be married to him, but I sometimes get life gets me, and I sometimes look at him as like, why didn't you do this? Or why didn't you, have this done? Or why are you late on this? And I let that take over me. So what I try to consciously be aware of, and that's my kind of ritual when I pull into the garage, I just have this reset of like, he's my teammate and we are partners and we're in it together and he's on my side. And so when I feel that safety and I can be, what he needs me to be and be more attractive, which is to him is, me playful and open, and which is to most men. And for him, I need to make him feel admired and needed. I am very independent. Obviously I have my own gyms. I, can do everything myself. But when I'm at home, I let him, not let him, but like I am relaxed and I'm like, hey, can you help me with the groceries? Hey, can you help me open this thing? And hey, I'm kind of like a softer feminine side of me, which you'll never see. But I let him know that I still need him emotionally. I still need him to help me with other physical things, because that's what I really like. He's the only person that I feel like I can depend on, and that would be there for me, and that would not even think twice about doing something for me. Or he would never think I was weak if I asked him to help me with something. And so I feel comfortable doing that with him. And so the other thing is men need freedom and love, but you need to give them freedom without holding back love. So, example in my life, Shane used to tell me, hey, I'm going to go to the gym for 30 minutes. Well, whenever I felt like when we were in that rough spot and we weren't really passionate and, it kind of felt like best friends or roommates, married, I would always be like, hey, when are you coming back? He's like, 30 minutes. And then after like 40 minutes, I'm like, where are you? Why aren't you not here? Like, like you said you were going to be back. You never, blah, blah, blah. I was kind of bitching him, trying to control him, all this stuff. Well, he would take an hour and a half and come back home. I mean, he wouldn't want to come back home, because why would you come back home to somebody who's going to be bitching at you as soon as you walk in the door? right? So what I learned is I just give him his freedom, and I don't withhold love when I give him his freedom. So he tells me, hey, honey, I'm going to go work out. And I'm like, how long? He goes, I'm going to work out. And I'm like, okay. I don't even ask how long. I don't say how long you're going to be unless I have something like I have to go to. And I then will go, hey, I have something at 3:30, or have something at whatever time. And then he'll know in his head that it's 30 minutes from now or it's an hour from now, blah, blah, blah. So now he'll go, hey, honey, I'm going to go work out. And I'm like, okay. That's fine. And then I won't, like, if 30 minutes go by, I don't text him. 45 minutes, an hour, I don't text him anything. I don't say anything to him. He comes home, I'm like, I just go, hey, how was your workout? And he's like, good. So after that shift and a few times, like, he was kind of weirded out, but I just kept on, letting him be free and still loving him when he came home. And now he'll go, hey, I'm going to work out. I'll be back in 30 minutes. And he's literally back in 30 minutes. So, and he's totally happy about it. He doesn't feel like I'm controlling him or forcing him or anything. So the biggest key for me, since I'm a control freak and like totally type A, and if you know me, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That was the biggest shift in my mindset. Like, let this person be free, and like, don't penalize him for being free, and don't penalize him for those things. And if you don't penalize them and you don't control them, then they'll do anything for you, and they'll totally do whatever you need. They'll help you in every way. They'll meet all of your needs. And so that was a huge shift for me. And there's a lot of things, there's other things men need, and there's other things women need, but I'm telling you what really helped me and what I see in the clients that I typically work with are executives or CEOs or like high-powered attorneys, where they are very masculine in their work, and that's why they do so well. So don't change that about you if that works. But at home, remember, there's a different side of you that needs to come out that doesn't typically come out most of the days, right? So that is a huge thing to remember, and it's a hard thing to adjust to, because it serves you so well in the outside environment, but it won't serve you well for very long in a romantic relationship. He might listen to you and do it, but he'll resent you if you're trying to control him and you don't give him that freedom. So, first, polarity, you guys get that now, hopefully. And then the men need, to feel admired, freedom, and love, and freely, unconditionally. Then that will cause them to be just drawn to you and attracted to you. And if you think about it, this kind of all goes back to when you first started dating, right? So like Tony Robbins says, if you don't want it to end, act like it was in the beginning. So if you do what you did in the beginning, there will be no end. And I totally believe that. Meaning I look at him, like when we were first dating, I'm like in awe of him, and it's not like this cheesy whatever. I really do feel like that. But I don't let the stresses of life get in the way, right? We deal with what we need to deal with. Hey, we need to contribute more to the 529, where we are at retirement, what are we doing here and here and here? Yeah, we have those meetings. And then as soon as we're done, we go back to, feeling grateful and looking at each other like as if we were when we first started dating. And that really, really helps. And it also helps me with the whole stress too, because I have a lot of stress in my life, and I deal with a lot of clients and a lot of people that feel like they work out in 1 week, they should lose 10 pounds in 1 week. And I have to deal with a lot of the emotional ups and downs with my job, and with, just managing multiple people, multiple businesses, and being a mom, right? And so those are, polarity, men's needs, women's needs. The fourth thing is going to be schedule sex. Everybody on here is 18 or older, so schedule sex. I know that sounds like weird and stuff, but you can't count on, with life and with kids and with with work and with all these demands, that you're going to remember or you're ever going to feel like it. I swear to you, probably like 80% of the time, I never feel like it because I'm tired or I'm stressed or I just want to read a book or I want to have my tea. But I schedule it the one I schedule is at least once a week, okay? Like, this is mandatory. At least once a week is mandatory. So there's more, great. That's great. It at least has to be one. So I have a lot of clients who have been through divorces or are in a relationship and they just don't know how relationships are supposed to be because our parents never talked to us about like, hey, how often should you have sex with your husband? And is not having sex for 6 months or 3 months or 2 months, is that a normal thing? I don't know. Is after the whole honeymoon stage of dating and we should just be in love and it's not like the beginning, is that a normal thing? And according to a lot of people, it is normal, but I'm telling you that it's like kind of kills your soul, you know? So it's not normal, I don't think, and I don't think it's healthy. So I've heard from multiple clients post-divorce in amazing relationships. We actually train the husband and the wife separately, so we actually know how they are, and then we see them interact together. So I truly feel and know that that is an amazing relationship I'm in the presence of. And then I have people that have gone through, you know, I trained hundreds of women that went through divorces, and then like their husband cheated on them because of, and I'm not saying it's your fault or anybody's fault. I'm just, you know, saying that men need sex. And we can be without it, women, but men need it. And it's just a thing like drinking water, and it's like going to pee-pee. It's a need, and you have to understand that, and you cannot withhold it because you're mad at him, okay? Or he's not doing what you need him to do or whatever. So schedule sex. I'll tell you how we do it is I put on my calendar, you know, Friday night or Saturday night, and it's fun, it's playful. I'll send him an appointment request, and sometimes he sends it to me or I'll send it to him. And it's like, I put, you know, 10 o'clock Friday, brown chicken, brown cow. So I'll do brown chicken, brown cow, but it's like brown chicken, brown cow, okay? So it's funny, and he'll accept it or I'll accept it, and sometimes he'll like be stupid and do maybe, and sometimes I'll be funny and do decline, but you know, we see it on our calendars. We check our calendars every day. And so it's kind of funny reminder, and it's playful, and you make time for yourself. At least you know, hey, I may not get my date night because it's crazy busy. I may not do, you know, all the things like flirting throughout the day or texting each other and thinking about each other all day long like when we first dated. But it's the fastest way to reconnect in the, you know, efficiently. It's the fastest way to make a deep connection in a short period of time. Let's say, I don't know, 20 minutes. So, and you know, it's give or take. So if it's more, that's great. But the standard is 1. I don't care how you feel. I don't care how tired you are, how fat you feel, how gross you look, whatever. I don't care. The only exceptions to that would be surgery, or having a baby, which you can't have sex until 4 or 6 weeks. Okay. That's just a standard. And you kind of need to get over that whole feeling of, I don't want to do it my own way. Like, if you want to be together and you want to have a good marriage and you want it to be passionate and you want him to look at you and see you for what all you do and to want you and to lust after you, then you need to give him what he needs, because that is why he'll do it. Men are very simple. So, that's actually probably the biggest kind of glue, like when you don't have everything on point and you just, you know, had a terrible week and all that stuff, and you're like, oh, we gotta have sex. Okay, well, afterwards you're like, okay, I'm so glad we did that. Why didn't we do it more often? You know? So, and then my last thing, and the 5th thing is accountability for yourself. So basically a check-in of where you're at, how you're feeling, what are you doing, your commitment to his happiness and his commitment to your happiness. Have a check-in. For me, it's once a month. It's on my calendar reminder. Just do it's called self-check, and I do a self-check on everything. I'm like, okay, where am I at with my fitness? Where am I at spiritually? Where's my head at right now? Am I feeling like I'm doing the work that I love to do? Is there something new I need to do? How are my kids? What's their state? What's their emotional state? So it's kind of like a state check-in, right? How is the state of our relationship? Because you're going to have downs, but with these things, if you keep in mind, you can turn it back on when you need to. So the first years, Shane and I were together for the first 7 years. I totally didn't know what was happening. Basically, I was totally in love with him. I thought this was my soulmate. And I don't know why. We were super passionate. And I'm like, I love him and it's passionate and all this stuff. Didn't know what happened. But now I know we always had polarity and it existed. And it just was, that's how that chemistry happened. But now I know exactly how to get that back. Okay, so if there's any guys watching, your women need to feel safe and secure. You need to be a man, and you need to step into your masculinity, and you need to take control of the situation, and you need to make her feel safe. You need to, her happiness is your number one priority, right? Ladies, he's not going to give you your number one priority and your happiness if you're always bitching at him, okay? So, and you're not giving it up. That's the truth. So, accountability. Set it on your calendar every month, one time a month. It's like a state check-in. And it could be 10 minutes of just reflection. Hey, do I have my mojo on, together, am I feeling good in my heart? Am I feeling good in my head? And my children, are they good in their heart? Are they good in their head? Are they doing too much? Are they run down? Are they, not getting it? They didn't get a different variety of foods. Are they getting their vegetables? Like, what's their state? We're the women. We usually take care of everyone, okay? And that's just who we are, and that's totally in our nature. It's very natural for us. So it's not hard, but we tend to let life take us. So when we have these calendar reminders or accountability, measures, we can stop, take a breath, look around, check ourselves. Hey, how's your husband? How's he doing? How are you doing? And what do we need to communicate to make a little shift so that we don't go winding down the wrong road? So that's my 5, and I really appreciate you guys giving me all these like hearts and thumbs up and stuff, because this was hard. I can't believe I did it. So I really, really, really appreciate the people that tuned in, and I hope you have a great rest of the day. And if you can just like comment anything that helped you, that resonated with you, that will give me some more juice to to keep doing things like this, because I have tons of advice or tons of wisdom that I've learned from clients through 18 years, and from all these books I read and all these seminars I go to. And when I meet with a client, or I meet with my team, or I meet with my friends, I am telling them this, and these people are always telling me, you need to tell other people, Julie. And I'm like, no, what are you talking about? Like, no, you need to tell other people this. And I'm like, I am telling other people. And they're like, no, you need to get on social media. You need to talk to more people. Well, by the way, I have like a fear of, being in front of the camera. I don't like to be stared at. I don't like to be, I don't know. Obviously you guys a lot of people have this fear, but for me to get over it is for me to not think about myself and think about if it helps you. And if it helps you, or any little nugget that helped you, that will help me. That'll like fire me up to think of more content to put out, as far as how do I take care of myself, parenting, things that I hear about what other parents do, issues with your parents, overcoming all these issues from the past, dating. We work with a ton of women, single and trying to get married or trying to find somebody. We work with a ton of guys trying to find a woman or find the other person. And I just really want you guys to focus on when you're wanting the romantic relationship and you're wanting the passion, to be in your true state, masculine if your energy's masculine women, being your soft feminine, so that it works. And just one last thing for the men, please tell your others that please see them. We will do anything if we hear, I don't know how you lost all that baby weight and you're taking care, you're a great mom. I don't know how you're working and doing all the things you do and still have a great attitude and still, keep the house tidy or the dishes or whatever. We just need to feel like we're seen for all of our work and appreciate it. And we will work totally hard for anything, and we can do anything. And then, for the women to the men, don't look at him as the source of all your problems. Admire him and for being your rock. Let him take over. Sit back and relax and let him do it. And let him take control of the situation. You don't have to tell him he should have exited sooner on the highway. Let him drive and let him, take you wherever. Just you relax. So, bye. Have a good day.